Hello, Dr. Kim Duray here. Welcome to Triumphant Stories of Resilience podcast sponsored by Somalistic. And today we have a special guest, Christine Espinoza, who's gone through quite a difficult time. And I think it will inspire you and inspired me when there's financial infidelity. And I'll let her explain what that happens and what happened to her and how she moved through it to an extraordinary, really very successful real estate life. So welcome. And
Thank you.
do you want to tell us when you found out that something had changed in your life and you were surprised by it? I'm sure.
Yeah, so I was married for 12 years and had two little boys. And we were both in real estate. And we did really well when we were younger. And then the market crashed in 2008 to 10. And we had a bunch of properties that we lost. And I kind of morphed into our relationship where he kind of handled the money and I was taking care of the kids. Even though I was still working, we were both in real estate, but I backed off a bit when my kids were little. And so he's the one that filed our taxes and did all of this. And so when we got divorced, I knew that we didn't have much money at that point. I mean, we lost a lot. But it was a lot worse than I thought because taxes had not been filed and everything. So we got divorced and he wouldn't leave the house. So I had to go rent a house, which was like an ego thing too because I was 38 years old. I had owned my own house since I was 22. And so I go rent a house and he basically kept everything and was supposed to pay me a certain amount, which wasn't that much, but over the course of 5 years. Including child support. But the stuff he was supposed to pay me, it wasn't alimony. It was just my half of the equity in the house and whatever else that we had. So, which he didn't pay. He paid child support partially for a few years, but didn't pay the other part. So I spent a lot of money in court, taking him to court and winning and still not getting paid. So basically, I just realized that focusing my energy on chasing him down, trying to get paid was really not productive. So I just started figuring out how to make money on my own. And I have been in real estate, but I really focused and doubled down and just concentrated 100% on that. And so I had to dig myself out of a lot of debt. I had, I don't know, $150,000 in back taxes.
That you didn't know about. You thought they were paid for.
I didn't know. Right. And it's probably my fault too, because I wasn't paying attention like I should. But also I started getting my paychecks garnished from the real estate company I was working at. But his stuff was all in LLC, so he was protected. So it took me a year, but I negotiated with the IRS and did an offer in compromise and was able to pay a small amount to get the rest forgiven. And yeah, I had no savings, so that just took a while. I mean, there were times when my electricity got shut off, and I'd tell the kids, "We're gonna go spend the night at your grandparents' house tonight." And, they didn't know what was going on, but so yeah, it took a long time, but I was able to get out of debt and be able to actually save money and take care of my kids.
Yes. So what happened during those times when you talk about them? It sounds like you went from, okay, I'll just figure this out. But what was the emotional and physical toll on you?
Oh, it was the worst. It was, I mean, with going through divorce in and of itself, it's like your whole world flips upside down. And now you have to take care of all of these things, which I only had certain responsibilities before. I mean, even little things like I thought my air conditioning kept breaking. Well, it's because I didn't change the air filters. It sounds so stupid, but I never had to do that before. So just juggling all that stuff is really challenging. But slowly, piece by piece, I figured everything out. But I mean, it was scary because luckily, I have a very supportive family. They weren't able to financially support me, but they were there, like always able to watch the kids, just emotionally and, physically, they were there. And that was super, super helpful.
That's very helpful. The emotional support
Mm-hmm.
is extremely helpful when you're going through something where you go, I don't know what to do. I have no idea, but I have 2 kids to take care of.
Yes, and they were real. My dad was in real estate too, and he had so many ups and downs in his career. So it was like, okay, this stuff happens, and you just, you know, buckle down and just look at one week at a time, and you go from there. So, but it was really scary, and but I think because I didn't have a safety net to fall back on, it's like I don't have a choice. I got to figure this out, and because like it would be real easy just to be like, hey, can I borrow this money until this time? But I didn't have that option. So it was just put my head down and go to work.
Did you feel like because you didn't have an option, you weren't gonna fail? Or were you
I couldn't fail.
You couldn't. Okay.
I didn't think that wasn't an option. I mean, how else I was going to take care of my kids? And I wanted to have I was used to a certain lifestyle.
A certain luxury.
And yeah, and I didn't even consider like what is the other option? Not doing it, going back to move in with my parents. I love my parents, but I would have nightmares when I woke up that I was living with them with my kids and thinking I need to get out of here and get my own house. And I wake up and go, oh, thank God I'm in my own place.
So at 22, you owned your own house. Were you married then?
No.
Okay, so you already had an amount of success independently before you married your husband.
Yes, I got my license right after I graduated college, and I was dating my husband. We weren't married yet, and I worked for my dad, so at his real estate company.
Okay.
So we dated for a few years. I got married when I was 26, but yeah, I had owned my house. I bought it when I was 22 or 23. I don't remember. So I had owned my own house, and then we both had owned our own houses, and then sold those and bought one together.
So when you figured out that there was this financial infidelity, you owed part of what he didn't pay that you thought was paid. Was there a place where you got depressed, or there was this place where you said you were scared, but this place where you got stuck?
I got angry.
Okay. Well, that's a good emotion to get you
Get
motivated.
stressed.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'll get kind of sad, but then I get like kind of pissed off. But it serves me because then it helps me to like, I'm not letting this happen to me. I'm going to figure this out.
Did you always have that characteristic?
No, I guess I should be grateful to my ex-husband for bringing this
Let's
out.
thank him. Okay. Because really, it drove you to this place where you succeeded.
I would say it started in high school. I remember friends who could just study the night before for a test and pull out A's. And I would get so frustrated because I felt like I had to work so much harder than everyone else. I got good grades. I wasn't straight A student, but I got good grades, but I had to work so much harder. And I would, complain to my parents like, this isn't fair. Why did they get to, just barely look at something, or they have this photographic memory and I have to work so hard. And I remember my mom just saying, hey, you are learning to work hard and you're learning grit, and that is way more important than being able to, just have the photographic memory or something. And she would always say, and my sisters and brother and I talk about this now, whenever we complain about, oh, so-and-so has this or that. And my mom would say, well, would you rather trade the other blessings and traits that you have? Would you rather not have this or just to have that? And it's like, well, no, I wouldn't want to, give up what I had before. But it was, just learning to, if things are hard, just to keep pushing through it and work hard anyways. So I think I guess it was something that I had growing up.
Yes, you built that muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, from your parents' wisdom. Right. Yes. Well, that's good because it did serve you well when you got blindsided.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And then what would you say to people when you look back and you go, we're reviewing this and you go, wow, I went through all of that. What would you say is the biggest takeaway?
I would say to get out of the victim mentality as fast as possible, because I've seen people sit there, and I did for a little while, but you can easily sit there and be like, "Yeah, they're so horrible," or "This person did that to me," or "that to me," and wallow in it for a long time, and it really just leaves you stuck. So it's like, at what point do you want to decide, okay, that's what it is. What can I do moving forward? Because it's like, where am I putting my energy? Is it being mad at this person or feeling sorry for myself? That does not get you anywhere. So as soon as you can just say, okay, that's what it is. Now, what can I do to make a difference moving forward? I think that's the best advice that I would give. It's like, you can complain all day about what they do or they keep doing, and it just doesn't serve you.
Well, you mentioned the time when you go to court and you're trying to get him to be accountable and he's not accountable, that you took another path.
Well, yeah, I would win. It's like every time I go back to court, it's like $6,000, $7,000, and I win. And he owes me reimbursement of the fees, the attorney fees. I still didn't get paid. And it's like, at what point do you just stop chasing down? And it was, in the beginning, it was real frustrating because he kept the house. He's driving a nice car. He's living in my house, our house, and traveling all over, spending all this money. And I'm sitting here with no money. And it was really frustrating to see. Now, since then, he's lost everything, like the real estate license, the house, everything. So, and people are like, oh, doesn't that make you feel good? Honestly, it doesn't really make me feel good.
No, that's not how you
Uh,
want that to end up.
no, but it is kind of like full circle.
Well, it shows what
moments.
happens when people don't take accountability or they aren't on the up and up, that in the long run, it just doesn't work.
Right. Because I always thought, how does he keep getting away with all this and never suffer a consequence? It blew my mind. And eventually, it did
It
catch up
catch
to
up.
him.
Yes. And the boys, did the boys know anything that was going on, or were you doing this by yourself with the support of your parents emotionally, and then making sure that they're protected in not knowing about the business and the money?
Yes, they were 3 and 6.
Okay, very young.
They were too young, so I didn't say anything, and my whole family and I, we all talked, and we said, we're never saying anything bad about their dad. I want them to love their dad. I never wanted them to feel like abandoned from him or that he was a bad person, because they're part him, right? And so I never said anything. And then when they got older, they would ask questions, and slowly I would give certain answers as the time permitted. And I would always say, well, do you want to hear about this? Do you want to talk about this? And, sometimes they'd say, no, not really. And other times, yeah, I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. So as I got older, I said more. And also, they started experiencing more with their relationship with him, which they have a good relationship with him, but they know what to expect from him. If they need something, they come to me. If whatever happens, important, they come to me. But their dad's still involved in their life, and he goes to all their games. He'll take them on some vacations, and he's involved. But they are really, I feel like, healthy in terms of knowing just, this is what we get from our dad. And I told him, like, enjoy all the good parts of your dad, because he's got a lot of great parts. That's why I married him. And you guys are lucky because you got all the good parts. But they were able to, now it's like they're able to see, okay, when you follow the rules and you do the right thing, here's the result. Like, you can be successful. When you don't, here's the result. And they could see that in their dad, you know.
So this is such a loving way of getting through something that was pretty devastating to your life. Financially, you had to crawl out of a hole.
Mhm.
And so to look at this other person and still have a loving attitude is part of the resilience too. It's using your energy in the right way to get through it rather than hating or dividing.
Yes, and now I'm not like that all the time.
Thank
I
you.
feel this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to always constantly
Okay.
bring myself back. Okay,
I was going to ask you how.
I get so mad, and that's when the support of people that you care about really helps. Is because to be able to just vent and talk about it and get it all out, and then it's like, okay, it's out of my system. I'm over this, and just keep reminding myself. Because I always would read. My parents are not divorced. But I always read that kids, if they have divorced parents, like, they blame themselves or they, internalize it. I never wanted my kids to feel like that. And I thought if I talk bad about their dad, then they're gonna take it personally. And I'm guilty of saying things about their dad too, but then I'll, like, apologize and be like, "Hey, I was just mad. I'm sorry, and, there's lots of good parts to your dad." And so I try to bring it around, but I'm not perfect, and I'm not always positive. I try to be.
In general, it seems like you have a good grasp on it and the thoughtfulness of your children and how they're going to get through the divorce. But then when you were harmed that with financial infidelity, you didn't continue it. You just moved on, and that takes a lot of internal work. Do you remember talking to yourself, getting through? What did you say to yourself to have
All the
this
time.
attitude?
Well, I'm always, reading books, listening to them, podcasts, just about the topics that I'm going through, and it's really helpful. I find certain people that inspire me, and I just try to fill my head with that. Because it's easy to get off on a tangent, and so it helps me come back to where I should be to, like, align and focus myself on the things I know I should be focusing on.
And do you stay really present, and how do you do that?
While I'm listening to the well,
Well, to actuate what you're listening to.
it's constant. I'm in my car a lot with work, and so I've got so many different things on my phone, on my Audible, on my podcast that I'm always listening to stuff. Or if I'm at my house, I'll have my headphones on and while I'm doing things. Like, I've never been a fiction book reader. I always like reading things that
Inspirational?
yes. Like self-help or inspirational, just whether it's business or personal, whatever it is. It's just always been fascinating
Okay,
to me.
so you're always learning. And then when the financial piece happened, where do you start tweezing that out and, like, building the account and paying this off, and did you know where to start?
No, well, no, it was really hard. Before I got divorced, so we were in a real estate company and he was my broker. So, like, he took over my dad's company and he was the owner of the company now. We both were, but he was the broker. So, I would make a commission check. And at first, he was like, okay, we have to hunker down because the market is down. So, we have to budget. So, he said, okay, I'm going to take the money and we'll put it in this account and I'll put so much in your account every month. And that quickly turned into, oh, okay, he's controlling me on this because he would be like, you spent $150 at Target. What are you doing? But then he's at Ocean Club spending $500 on dinners with friends, calling it business. I'm like, I'm in the same business too. I'm not doing that. And I'm buying diapers. What is this? So I said, we're not doing this anymore. Like, I'm getting my commission checks. You're not taking them. I said, the next one you take, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be at this company anymore. And he did it again. So I severed my license and I moved it to another company and opened my own bank account because I knew this wasn't going to last. So I kind of prepped myself.
Okay, you
that way.
protected yourself that way.
Yeah, protected myself, but it's not like I had all this money to move over.
Right, but you stopped the bleeding in a
Yes,
sense.
I started at least having my own, bit of.
Did you have a financial planner? Did you have someone to help you through that, or you just knew checks and balances, this money, pay bills?
No, I didn't have a financial planner at the time. I met with a financial planner from a client before I got divorced and asked this guy. I said, look, I'm thinking gonna head for divorce. can you help me know what to do? And I met with him. He set up a time and no one was in his office. And the guy hit on me. And he was married. And,
Oh, that didn't work.
and I said, "You're married." And he said, "So are you." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm getting divorced because of someone cheating. And that's why I came to you to help me." And I left that office crying like, is everyone in the world horrible? Like, what is wrong with people? And so I got a woman financial advisor later.
There you go.
But I mean, there's not much to advise when you have no money in your account. I just knew I had to make money. I'd figure out what to do with it later. I just knew I had to make money. So it was like pounding the pavement. Do open houses all the time. Just I put my head down
and just worked.
Mhm.
Yes, with your grit. So you're an inspiration because I don't know many people that just don't keep going down the victim path, because it's so easy when things come at you and nothing seems to be working right away.
Well, it's so unhealthy. And I watched the movie The Secret
I remember. I
like
remember that.
100 times. And I bought the book and I bought it on audio so I could listen in my car. I'm a Christian. I go to church. I didn't feel like I felt like it's complimentary.
Yes.
But the law of attraction. But what that taught me was like how bad it is to worry and to ruminate on negative things, because then you're like a magnet and you're just sucking all the other negative things to you. It's like, it's bad for you. So I just noticed when I started worrying or going down that path, I would stop myself right there, do something else, replace it with like a positive action, because I did not want to bring more of that negativity. So I purposefully, anytime to this day, if I start to worry about something, I just stop myself.
I think that's a brilliant thing to do. Right. It sounds so simple. I don't think it's as simple. I think you would have to practice it over and over again to just stop it. But that is true. It's such a negative amount of energy.
Well, I think it's just being intentional and recognizing it when it comes, and just like making a decision to stop it. And you can't help it sometimes. I mean, I remember driving to an appointment and stuff would happen. I remember crying on the way to an appointment and being like, I can't go in there. My makeup's all off. It's like running into Walgreens and buying makeup, putting it on, be like, all right, just like be like an actress or something. Pretend like, I'm someone else, and go in there and just turn it on. And so I mean, there's a lot of times that stuff like that happen. I mean, you can only be strong so many times.
Well, that's what I love about you, is the authenticity of, I'm human, I go through these things, and I persevere. Yeah.
Again, like, I don't feel like I had a choice. And once I got past the, okay, I can pay my bills, I can do this, it's like, I want to have a great life, and I want to be able to, I have expensive taste. I want to be able to go on great vacations. I want to be able to do the stuff I want to do. And really, before all that, I really wanted to be able to pay people to do the stuff I don't want to do. Like clean my house.
Yes.
And, I delegate a lot of things so I can free up my time
To
and doing things that make money.
Yes.
So first, I do pay someone to do the things I don't want to do. Then you can buy extra things. And now it's like I'm getting excited about investing in things, and it's just more of a freedom. And
Yes, I think that's what gives you to have financial freedom and control of your financial life, gives you choices.
Yes.
And so that is freedom. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And like paying someone to come organize my house, because I'm all over the place. I'm doing so many things at once, and I'm just not a good organizer. It's like, I don't know where to put something. It's like, I'll shove it over there and worry about that later. Well, then next thing you know, all this stuff is piled up on my dining room table. So like, I pay someone to come in my house and organize it and help me.
What a nice luxury. Yeah, I like that.
It's great, but it frees up my mind too, because my mind's not cluttered and thinking, ugh, I got to do all this.
Right.
It's like, it's
And your time, yes. I think you've given a lot of good tidbits, even for me to listen to you, to practice, these pieces that you practice. Sounds like you practice it all the time.
I do. It becomes a way of life, really. And you start to recognize it too when you have the friend that has the same problem for years. It's like, well, either do something about it or stop complaining about it.
Yes.
I get frustrated sometimes because it's like, okay.
Or don't do the same thing over and over and expect something else that's going to happen differently. Yes.
Yes. But I also try to have compassion too, because I understand everyone has but some people will do that for their whole life.
Yes. Yes.
But it's like energetically, I feel kind of pulled away from those people now because I can't. You really have to like create like an invisible bubble around yourself and your energy to not get thrown off.
How do you do that?
It's like magic. No, it's another intentional thing. It's just like I can't. It's just I have to protect myself and not let, like if I'm talking to my ex and he starts, I will block him.
Oh, okay. You literally block
on the phone. Like, hey, if you want to talk to me, you have one email address, and I will open that email when I'm mentally prepared. But I can't have it come into my workday when I'm trying to negotiate a transaction or I'm trying to take care of something. I can't have this negativity coming in my space. Or certain relationships. It's like I can't, you kind of just pull away from certain friends if they're sucking your energy. You know how you'll be with someone and you leave and you feel energized.
Yes.
And you leave some people and you feel drained.
Yes.
It's like I've had to learn how to limit my time, if I spend time at all, with people that suck the energy, because I only have so much and I have to protect it.
It's sacred. It really is. Yes. And that part where that energy actually is financial energy as well. I think they go hand in hand.
Oh, it totally does. I mean, it's like I did feel the scarcity for so long, like, oh, I can't afford this, or I can't do that, and now it's like I feel like money just keeps flowing in
because you've got you've got the secret down, right?
And I'm not afraid anymore of it not being there. I know it's going to be there. So it's weird how that works. It's almost like I can't even put myself in the headspace that I was in before.
Well, you're in a different space. You live a different life now, not of lack, but of abundance.
Right. And, if shit hits the fan, I'll figure it out. That's where I feel like I'm good, because anything can happen, but I know I'll be able to figure it out.
And you have. You have. So you prove yourself right every single time.
Yes, but it's not like it's easy. It's a lot easier to talk about it now, but
yes, it's easier, but it sounds like the practice is the piece. To keep practicing your positive attitude, your positive energy.
Well, I'm grateful really that it happened, because I would not be half as strong. I would not have been forced to do this stuff if I didn't have those hard things to go through. And really, if someone's like, oh, you can go back and redo it and you wouldn't have this stuff happen, I wouldn't want that, because I'd probably just not be as appreciative of what I have. I wouldn't work as hard. Yes. I wouldn't have the drive. I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm grateful. I wouldn't
you don't want to do it again.
I don't want to do it again.
But you're grateful. Yes, looking back, it created a springboard for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing your story. It really is inspirational. And I think people picked up some tidbits, I know I did, about this place where you stop the worry and you keep bringing in the energy of positive podcasts and positive people, and that you can't fail if you think that's not an option, right?
Yes.
And not to be a victim.
Yes.
I think that's huge.
That is huge.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.